Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking racing games. E3 was the other week and if you followed my coverage you will know I was out there. While I was there I had a chance to play loads and loads of games and also record lots of footage for you guys in the process. The problem is I got to the point where I simply couldn't make enough videos fast enough to keep up with the amount of games I was playing. So I ended up in a situation where I was sitting on a ton of gameplay for a wide range of games. I've got footage for Forza Motorsport 7, Need for Speed Payback, The Crew 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Sea of Thieves, Ni no Kuni 2, some off-screen gameplay of Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and much more. So the plan is to gradually roll out some of that footage for you guys to watch, among of course all the usual coverage for games like Destiny 2, Monster Hunter World, The Division, etc. And what better way to kick things off than with some racing games. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the three main racing games that made appearances at E3, namely Forza Motorsport 7, Need for Speed Payback, and The Crew 2. So if you do enjoy this video, then a like would be super appreciated, and also be sure to comment down below and let me know what you guys think. I appreciate there will likely be a bit of a divide here between some of the more sim-focused racers out there and the arcade guys, but either way, this should give you a good idea as to what you can expect from each of the titles. Let's kick things off with Forza Motorsport 7. This one launches later this year, October 3rd, and at E3 it was actually being used as one of the main demo games for the newly announced Xbox One X, their 4K ultra-powerful gaming console, or to quote Microsoft, the most powerful console ever made. The game itself supports both 4K and HDR, provided of course your TV supports that. And while this video is only 1080p, the footage was actually recorded in 4K, I simply downsampled it for the video. What I will say is that seeing it on a big screen at the show running in 4K HDR, it did look incredible, especially with all the weather effects going on and everything else on screen. Even the environment in the background, which let's be honest isn't usually the focal point of a racing game, even that looked pretty impressive. However, speaking more specifically about the game, first up the choice of cars. Forza 7 has the biggest lineup the series has ever seen, a whopping 700 cars, which is just a little under double that of Forza 6, which had around 450. And within that lineup, it's said to have the biggest assortment of Ferraris, Porsches, and Lamborghinis. And what's more, if you saw the Xbox press conference, then you'll know that Microsoft has also signed another 6-year deal with Porsche, which segued nicely into them revealing the brand new 2018 911 GT2 RS, which is also the cover car for the game. So yeah, if you like cars, which let's be honest is probably a given if you're buying a racing game and you're watching this video, then there's going to be a lot for you to choose from in Forza 7. Of course, that's not the only thing they're doubling down on. They also want to make sure that you've got tons of locations to race in too. Turn 10 said that there are currently 30 different locations in-game, and across those there are 200 different configurations, that's 200 tracks. Albeit some of them will be variations of one another, but regardless, 200 different tracks to race on is a pretty decent number. And of course, within those 30 locations, some tracks, many of them in fact, are based on real tracks. Meanwhile, there are some fictional ones too, such as the Dubai track that we raced on during the E3 demo. Furthermore, Turn 10 also said they wanted to place a big emphasis on the driver in this game. The new Motorsport campaign actually lets you create your own driver with a range of kind of racing gear, racing history, a lot of other things too. There's supposedly over 300 different character design possibilities with both female and male avatars, different body types, all the kind of usual stuff you'd expect from character creation. And whoever you decide to make is then seen considerably more frequently in-game. In the demo, they were even present in the main menu, standing next to your car. Plus, they will be your drivatars when your friends are racing against you and you're not, on the game. So, just a chance to kind of inject more personality into your progression, which is kind of nice. As for the actual racing side of things, as well as the usual day and night cycle options, the game itself has a brand new dynamic weather system, and this will change while you are racing. Speaking to one of the developers at the show, he actually said it is entirely possible to play the very same race twice and have a completely different experience each time, based on the type of weather that is present. There are of course a load more subtle changes as well, changes to the way the cars handle, the way you feel things around the track, but that sort of stuff is considerably easier to feel for yourself than to convey in words. So in short, it's a big step up for the series, and there's going to be a lot more to this one when compared to previous games. Now, moving on from there, let's talk about Need for Speed Payback. For this one, I want to give a quick shout out to my buddy and fellow YouTuber Tommy T999. He very kindly let me use his footage. I did have a chance to check out the game at E3, but unfortunately I missed the recording session, so I wasn't able to get my own gameplay. So he let me use his. You can find a link to his channel in the description box down below. Definitely make sure you check it out. Now, Need for Speed itself launches November the 10th, so about a month after Forza, and if you've seen the trailer, then there is a distinct Fast and Furious vibe going on here. And I don't mean that because there are fast cars and explosions, I mean, narratively speaking, there seems to be a revenge theme running through the campaign in this one, much like there is in the new Fast and Furious movie. But either way, for the story in this game, instead of playing as the usual faceless unnamed racers, you play as 3 different characters, Tyler, Mac and Jess. The Payback side of things stems from the fact that your crew are double-crossed and forced into exile, so you're racing to bring down this cartel known as the House. Now me personally, I don't play these games for the story, but if story is your thing, then you'll have your usual races, stunt missions and events, but this time around there will also be heist missions too. However, story aside, let's talk about the important stuff. First up, the map, set to be the biggest and most detailed yet. It takes place in the fictional region of Fortune Valley, complete with day and night cycles and plenty of space to explore. Given the scale of the map, there will be tons of different driving experiences. You'll of course have your usual city races on clean tarmac roads, but there will also be desert canyons and mountain areas too, so you can expect some off-road action in-game as well. Interestingly, the BMW M5 that was supposed to be debuting in the Frankfurt Motor Show later this year was actually spotted in the promotional image for the game, so it seems like Forza is not the only one snagging a brand new model for their title. Payback also has a wider variety of cars available this time around, and tying in with the different terrain types I mentioned, car classes now fall under one of 5 options. You have race, drift, off-road, drag and runner. Customization is also going to be much deeper than before, which I'm super looking forward to. Customization in these kind of games has always been really good anyway, so chance to kind of go even deeper than before. Hopefully there are going to be some really cool body kits. I'm definitely a big fan of some of those JDM kits, so that is something I'm super keen to check out. However, on top of that, you are also able to roam the map looking for abandoned cars, which you can then take in, restore, rescue and modify. And finally, something I think a lot of people will be very happy about, but the game can be played offline. Unlike some of the more recent titles which adopted the always online model, Payback allows you to race solo, offline if you want. Of course, if you want to race with your friends, you'll need to go online, but I mean, that's hardly unexpected. Either way, I am definitely super looking forward to this one. I've always been a big fan of the Need for Speed games. The customization is always fun to mess around with, and with a bigger map to explore, then there'll be no shortage of crazy stuff to do. So finally, let's now turn our attention to the third racing game of this video, The Crew 2. In truth, I went into this one a little bit skeptical. I played a bit of The Crew 1, and I wasn't personally a huge fan. Crew 2, however, is actually a lot of fun. Admittedly, this was based on a 30-minute gameplay demo. I can't speak much for the longevity of the game outside of that. However, from what I've had a chance to check out, there were some pretty interesting ways to play. This one is actually slated for early 2018, so luckily all these racing games in this video are pretty spaced out and don't really get in the way of each other. If you never played The Crew 1, then it is an open world racing game, and this time around in number 2, the game aims to capture the thrill of the American motorsport with a wide range of racing disciplines. This isn't just cars, it's also about boats, planes, and there will also be bikes as well, although they weren't available in the demo. However, dialing back for a second to what I said at the beginning, the interesting way of playing, a little bit later in the demo, you actually have the option to just swap from car to plane to boat on the fly. Not like Optimus Prime style Transformers or anything, there is instead a nice clean graphical transition, and while it doesn't make realistic sense, it does look cool in action. You could be driving towards, say, the edge of a cliff and then swap into a plane, fly off the cliff and take over a lake, and then swap to a boat, drop in the lake, and continue racing. Or you could, you know, drop a boat out of the sky. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I had to do it, sorry, but you gotta try these things, right? Of course, being an open world game, you're also free to explore wherever you want to go. The map is supposedly about 2,000 square miles and features different parts of America. There'll also be different clubs and cultures in these different areas where you can experience different types of races like street, off-road, etc. There are also a couple of really crazy Inception style transitions. Now these kind of took place during the initial tutorial demonstration where you basically go from a car and then suddenly like the actual landscape shifts. You drop down, transition to the next thing, so I'm not sure how much that'll be present throughout the game. It was really cool to kind of see, definitely a little bit trippy at the same time, but I imagine that's kind of more so something you'll see as specific encounters, not necessarily something you'll see as you're driving around the kind of general game world. There are also random races you can just dive into while you're roaming the open world, and of course a whole array of multiplayer options on top. But as mentioned, the game is still a little way off, so we'll find out more about that as we get closer to launch. But for the time being, that is a look at the 3 main racing games I had a chance to check out at E3. If you did enjoy the video, then a like would be super appreciated. Also, be sure to comment down below, let me know what you guys think, and let me know which ones you guys are most looking forward to. Thank you for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.